the sweetness of art. Wayne Thiebaud is a famous American artist who loved to paint desserts. One of Thiebaud's jobs was at Mile High and Red Hot, a cafe known for its stacked ice cream cones and hot dogs. There were also, Thiebaud remembers, rows of pies. His work is a part of the pop art movement. Pop artists painted common things from everyday life. He often used thick paint. Some people think it looks like real frosting. Does it look like frosting or paint to you? Wayne Thiebaud liked to paint dark shadows on the sides of his desserts. This makes them look more three-dimensional. Can you find the shadows in this painting? He loved bright colors. Do you notice how the cakes and plates are outlined in them too? There are different kinds of desserts all over the world. What kind of dessert do you like? These are some Thiebaud-inspired art pieces made by kids. What kind of dessert do you want to make today? So today we're going to learn a couple of different ways to make cakes. So you're going to need a pencil, a sheet of paper, and if you want, you could break your paper into 4 sections. So we're going to first just go ahead and break it in half, and then we'll break it in half the other way. And so this gives us 4 different sections to work in. So let's go to our first section here. Now, we don't want to make this too tiny. So we want to find the middle of our section. We're going to go up a little ways from it. So there's the middle, I come up. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to put a dot and a dot. Okay, so 2 dots. Now from here, I'm going to take and I'm going to put in a squished circle. So a squished circle. And that's going to be the top of our cake. Now we're going to go ahead and put in one side of our cake and the other side of our cake. And then at the bottom, we're going to put in a smile. So we have our basic structure made now. Now we're going to go ahead and take a piece out of our cake. So we want to come up into our top squished circle. And we're going to go ahead and just put a little dot right in the very middle. Now we're going to take and turn that into the top of an arrow. And it will make a triangle shape. Now we're going to go up to that dot again and we're going to just draw a line straight down. So we have a big arrow happening right now. And let's make our arrow even easier to see. Let's erase out those 2 little side parts. And you might have to redraw a little bit after you do that. So now we have an arrow on the side of our cake pointing up. Now we're going to go to the sides of our arrow and we're going to draw one line straight down and we're going to draw another line straight down. Now I'm going to go to the very middle of all these lines. I'm going to go up a little ways. I'm going to make a little dot. And I'm going to make another arrow going from my dot down to the corner, and my dot down to the corner. Now the next step is going to be to erase out everything inside of that bottom arrow. And so now I have a piece of cake with a piece taken out of it. Now, often in cakes, there's multiple layers, so I'm going to show you how to make a 3-layer cake. So I'm going to go up a little ways and I'm going to make a dot. That's going to be one of my layers. And I'm going to go up another little ways and I'm going to make another dot. That will be the place for my second layer. And however many layers you want, you put in dots for. And then you're going to go in and just put in an arrow, the top of an arrow, or the top of a triangle. And then you can go ahead and make a multi-layered cake. Now, in Thiebaud's work, he also puts in shadows. So if I wanted to put in a shadow, I could come underneath and I would make a circle off to the side at the bottom. So now I have a cake with a shadow. I could also put it onto a table if I wanted to. I could draw a line. I would hop over and draw a line. So there I have a cake that has a full piece cut out of it with a shadow. Now let's try another kind of cake. So we're going to come over into our next section. We're going to make a 3-tiered cake. So here's our middle. We want to come all the way up. We want to be just a little ways from the top. And this time we're going to make our dots not quite as far apart. And we're going to create a squished circle once again. 2 lines down. And a smile at the bottom. And we have the first layer of our cake. Now we're going to come up onto the side of it. So to the side and to the side, and we're going to make a squish circle going around. We take and we put a line on each side of it. And a smile. Now let's make another layer. So we go up to about the middle point on each side. We make a squish circle. A line on each side. And a smile. Now I could keep going and keep going with that if I wanted to. Let's go ahead and put it on a plate. So I'm going to go halfway up on each side, make a little mark, and make another squish circle. So now my cake is sitting on a plate. Now how you go to decorate your cake will be completely up to you. One thing that cake decorators often do is just a ruffled edge like this. I've also seen Wayne Thiebaud put hearts on the sides of his cake. If you wanted to put a heart in on your cake, you don't want to make them tiny because we're going to be coloring in with oil pastels. You kind of want to make it big. So you come first and you make a dot in one of your layers, and then you make a dot down at the very bottom. Then I come to my dot and I go up and I touch the top of my layer, and then I come down to my point. Then I go back to my top dot, I go up, I touch the top of the layer, and I come and I put a point. And I could add more on the side too if I want. So once again, I would put a dot and a dot. Dot and a dot. So now I have a heart design on that cake as well. Now I would also want to put in my shadow. I could come over to the sides and put in a shadow. Oh, and no, you don't have to put in a heart, only if you want to. I just wanted to show you that technique. If you wanted to put it on a table, you would draw your line, hop over your cake, and draw your line. So there's 2 ways to draw cakes. Let's go to our third way to draw a cake today. Now for the third way, we're going to come to the middle of our paper, go up just a little ways this time, and let's make this one a little bit wider than our other cakes. Okay, this is going to be just a single layer cake, so we want it to be a little bit wider. But we're going to start with that same thing where we make a squish circle between our 2 dots. And once again, we're going to go ahead and go down and go down. And we're going to put a smile at the bottom. Now we're going to be taking a sideways cut out of this one. So here's your middle. I want you to go over a little ways and down a little ways. So here was my little middle. I went over just a tiny bit and down just a tiny bit. So we're not quite in the middle this time. We're a little bit offset. Now from this, we're going to take and draw one line angling over and another line angling over. It'll be kind of like a triangle shape up on the top. Now at the bottom of these, we're going to draw a straight line down and a straight line down. Now once you get to this point, we're going to go ahead and erase out this top line. And we're going to erase out this bottom line. So now we want to put in our second layer of cake. So first we're going to put in our cut. So we're going to come to the very, very bottom corner and we're just going to make a little triangle going up. And then we're going to go up just a little bit more and make another angled line going up. And you're going to see that's going to give us a couple of layers of cake. Now I'm going to show you something a little bit different for the dish on this one, or the holder. So once again, we're going to go ahead, come part way up our cake and make a mark and make a mark. And we're going to put in our squish circle. Now we want to make our plate a little bit thick, so we're going to come to the edge and make a little line down and a little line down. And then we're going to join that by a squish circle that follows that line up above it. And now we're going to go ahead and put a stand in. So we're going to find the middle, go over a little bit of a ways, and then put in a curve. There's that middle, come over a little bit ways the other way and make a curve going the opposite way. So now we have a cake sitting on top of a pedestal. Now the shadows for these ones, you would come down below and imagine making a circle down here. So I would take and make a circle shape and a circle shape. And then that would be my shadow down below for this cake. And if you'd like in this last section, you can go ahead and practice making which cake you like the best and then playing with decorations. Know that you can make any kind of decorations you want. You just don't want them to be too tiny because we're going to be doing oil pastels. So you don't want to use words, you don't want to use numbers. You want to do things that are going to be big, simple shapes. Have fun practicing.